Yes. Oh, let me record right now. Okay, so we're talking about the story now. So I was talking about
I don't get
something.
how that is good
My
in any
favorite
way.
part
Getting
was when
mosquito
the father.
bites, it's not fun. It's itching. It's like, and she says
Because
like, "I remember those from Panama. That was so cool." What?
it's like
Why would you
My
say
favorite,
that?
my own favorite part.
What do you want to say, Moria? I'm sorry.
My favorite part then it's when the father take them to the beach and they say like that's the closest that we're going to be in for Panama.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was kind
pretty.
of sad too. A little bit sad, that last part. Yeah.
And
No,
Bacha just texted me that she's coming.
so I was just trying to explain, like, to Yara, why is that so? Why are these lines so great? Let me just read them again. She said she'd become a
אסתר,
genius.
אתה יכול לאשר את בתיה?
I did. I did. So she says she'd become a genius at turning any and everything, every little thing, into a way to talk about Panama. She would get a mosquito bite on her ankle and point out the welt to us, reminiscing about the bites she used to get in Panama and wondering aloud what the mosquitoes there looked like now, as if they were old friends. Like, oh, I wonder what they're like now. She would make rice and start talking about the gallo pinto. She says, I wonder how Cristobal, wasn't that the owner's name, is doing. So everything that she would eat, she'd make rice and then she would remember a restaurant. That's what you girls, that's what happens sometimes when you're away from your country. It's like you guys don't really experience that, but I experience it. That because you grow up in a certain place and you have memories of the people and experiences, and you just can't go back there again. And you just start to remember it. Like they talk about this idea. Like I would look on a view in Israel sometimes, still to this day, and I look out and I say, yeah, this is like the view from my home, or this was like the view in that desert in California. Like wherever I would look, I would just sort of like project that geography onto it because I was kind of like
Yeah, I
longing.
have the same thing. After I moved from Avava, which I lived in for 8 years. So, and then we moved. So now everything, pretty much everything, reminds me of there.
There you
And
go.
when we
Where
drove
is
back
that?
there for a few times, and I got a serious deja vu, and it was not fun. Like, oh my gosh! It's like,
I'm not a fan. Oh my god, yo, I remember this place.
yeah,
I remember this
like
too.
me driving in the street with this car. It was sad.
Oh my god, it's still have the same car.
It was just for a few hours for my friend's bat mitzvah. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Where,
Well,
where,
I
where,
never
where
had
is that?
it,
Where is
and
that? Yeah, where is
like
that?
I have never even.
It's in the Shomron. It's a
In the
small yeshuv near Ariel.
Well, there you go. There you go. So did anybody else have a nice part of the book they liked, Batya, from the story that you connected to?
What?
Was there a part of the story that you connected to?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, because I also moved like from a different country. So, just like wanting to go back there to see everyone, but it's expensive. You can't go like every year.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And like also the temperature.
Why not actually?
I'm sorry, Batya, yeah?
Like in the winter, it doesn't feel like winter here. It feels just like spring or fall, because like it snows a lot there, and like my brother's already sending pictures how it's snowing there, and I want to go too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, my friend just sent me pictures from Switzerland. It was amazing. I'm in my garden playing with the flowers and the vegetables. What about let's see, you're all, how old are you all? How old are you?
15.
So
It's
one
not fair. I'm
part
still
story,
14 and I need to wait at least half a year. It's not
I need
fair.
to wait for 3 months.
so there was
And
one
then
part
I'll
of
be
the story.
52. It's like, it's the age of all of the Syrians that, oh yeah, she was 15 and her life just changed. You know what I mean? It just the age of
The
the
reason I
stage. Like,
asked.
oh my god, I'm going to be a mermaid or fairy, I don't know what.
The reason I ask is because part of the story referred to 9/11. The bombing.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, that's like, yesterday, it's before you were born, but I was sitting in Ma'alot and my bacon essence, and it happened. And she talks about it when that happened. I thought it was a really funny scene where she describes how, they were in shock. And then she says that by evening, everyone's front doors were open and people were roaming in and out of each other's units, watching each other's televisions as if a different television set would deliver different news, checking to see if anyone had heard anything new. I thought that was really funny, just like, maybe I'll catch something new from them or from them. Like, there has to be something new happening right now. There was something very, very true about that and ironic.
It's like in Israel, there are events like this too, but since it's America and it's a much bigger country, filled with tons of countries, everything there is bigger. So this event was huge. Tons of people in just 2 buildings, and it was a massive event and sad.
But it's also like
an
event like that makes the country small too. Suddenly people come together and they have something which unifies them. In this case, a kind of sad way, but I mean, it doesn't. Anyway, I want you to, we're going to work on the book on page right now, on page 196, if you have the book. And at the same time, I want to show you that on the Google Classroom, I put something up for you, and you can take a look at it right now. Oh, I'll show it to you. If you go to your Google Classroom, though, you'll see in classwork, I put up something for the Book of Unknown Americans. Do you see it right now on my Google Classroom on the screen?
Yeah.
We all have
wait a second.
We all have the book.
Open that up. You'll see this. You see this now on the screen? What I just put up?
Yes, I have it on my
classroom. So I don't have to ask you all the time. And so I've made you a worksheet to help you do some of these questions. Let me just pop myself into your classroom too, so I don't have to ask you all the time. So let's just start looking at, we can look at this worksheet a little bit right now. You're seeing it. You see the worksheet?
Yes.
On your screen? Okay, good. So let's try to talk a little bit about it. And maybe even before you look at the worksheet, we won't even look at this for right now. And question number 1, wait, let me let myself into the room. Hold on a second. Okay. So question number 1 says, state one theme the author develops in this excerpt and cite evidence from the text to support your analysis. Okay, so cite evidence supporting your analysis. Can anybody here tell me what they think one of the themes was from, let me go to another screen actually. There we go, so I'll go to my Word doc. Can anybody think of any theme? What's a theme?
Nuseh.
Not exactly an oseh, Ken. It's like what the whole
in Hebrew,
was
you
about.
don't have a different word between a theme and, I don't know, a title.
Yeah, you could say noseh. They call it, in Hebrew, it's called, rayoni kali, or tema. In Hebrew, you can say tema. Tema, or theme. So what do you think the theme of the story was? Tema, you've never heard the word tema?
That word before.
That's weird. You're right, it comes out red.
What was the theme of the story?
The theme of the story, yeah. So what was
the theme of the story was about a girl that's a family, you can say, that leave their home and miss them.
Okay,
like
you say to me, you say the theme was about a girl who what? Who
left her country where she was born, where she grew up, and went to America.
Okay, left the country where she was born and went to. Was she born in Panama?
Yes, and they moved when she was 1 year old.
Okay, did she really leave the country?
Yeah.
Yeah, she and her family.
Less than a year old. Yeah. Right. So she didn't.
Can you change it from a girl and her family?
You say
Maybe
the
you can
female
say
is
she and her
the
family.
girl and her family is the
Yeah,
theme.
she and a
Went, I don't, went with her family to
Mr.
America.
Mr.
Girl and her
Yeah,
family.
the theme is not just about the girl, it's about all of her family.
It's about immigrants. It's about
Her family immigrated to America.
immigrants.
Immigrated to
I don't
America.
know how
You
to say
say.
in English.
Anybody
Need to
else have any
claim.
ideas for themes?
But Mr. You hear me? When you said that the first sentence about the theme was about a girl who left, so I think you should change it to a girl and her family.
About a girl and her family, and her family, and her family, and her family. So you would say that's the theme of the story? I would say that's what the story was about. That's what that was about. Like that's the confusing thing about it.
Yes, that was it.
How do you
What would
say?
be-
How do you say litaklem? I don't know how to
Itaklem,
say that. Yes.
Itaklem. You could say about it's about to climatize. There's a word like that. You could say it's about it's about
How
how the
immigrants
family
how do you say that?
family
Climatize in a new country. In a
climatized
new country.
to America. Okay, how the family climatized to
למה
America.
זה כאילו עלו?
I would say instead of climatized, I would say socialized. Socialized. Socialized.
Socialized.
So,
Yeah,
well,
no.
social, not socialized. Social. You can't say
Socialized is last. I think it's last.
Integrated.
Maybe.
Integrated.
It sounds
Again,
more.
what you're talking about so far are
Maybe the
what
difficulties of being an immigrant.
ladies.
The theme is going through about her mother too. That she's like the voice who's missing the all the country,
You're
and her
getting
father is more like the new voice who's like saying that she should move on.
Now you're saying something. If the theme is that you say the theme is about the mother. What did you say about her? The mother
That the
missing.
mother is like the voice who's missing her old country, and her father is more like the voice who's saying you should move on.
Okay, now you're getting to something which I'm more interested in talking about her old country and the father wanting to move on. Okay, good. To integrate.
move on, אני לא יודעת איך אומרים את זה,
move on.
להשתלב בחברה.
To integrate.
להמשיך בחיים שלך, להשתלב.
What does integrate mean? You know this word integrate? What's to integrate?
להתערות.
integrate is
להתערות
להשתלב, לא?
בחברה.
להשתלב בחברה.
להשתלב, to integrate. Okay, now let me just stop you for a second, please. Just listen to me. Now, this last thing you said is wait, listen for a second, okay? The last thing you said is getting towards what a theme is. Because the first things you said are not themes, they're what happens in the story. This is what happens in the story. So it's a girl who left the country where she was born and went to America. That's not an idea. Okay, a girl and a family immigrant, that's not an idea. It's about the family. That's not an idea. But here, on the third one, this is you're getting closer to an idea. Now, to get the idea.
It's not more like the plot of the story.
No, here you're talking about, thank you very much, Moria. That's a good word for it. Here you're talking about really the plot. Okay, these things are more like plot. Okay, plot. This is more like plot. You're talking plot.
The background.
Here you're getting to a theme. Now, if you're going to talk about theme and find a theme, you need to take out the specific things.
Maybe
words,
how the girls,
how
the girl feels.
How the girl feels.
Work on this for a second, ladies. Ladies, patience. Take out the specific thing. Take out the people, mother, the father, okay? Take those things out. And now you can get to more of a theme from your sentence. The theme is about missing her old country. Instead of saying her, make it general. Instead of saying her, what can I say?
Panama, the old country.
No, I don't want a specific person. I want a general
The old
word.
Country.
A general, no, keep her, another possessive word.
I don't know the word general.
How about general klali? How about one?
Oh.
One. שלך. זה לא בן אדם ספציפי,
Okay.
זה כללי. So the theme is about
Like the idea of the story was about someone that is missing.
But then the sentence looks a little bit funny, so you should say the theme is about missing one's old country, but still wanting to integrate into American society.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's more.
good. I like. Thank you very much. And but yet still wanting. Yes, you're getting excellent. That's fantastic. Okay. So the theme is about missing one's old country and yet wanting to integrate into American society. Okay, I want to move on a little bit because we have a lot to cover. So this is a great idea, and I'm going to add it above on this page. I'm going to go reload. So I wrote here some themes, and I think we can add your theme to it right now. This is the theme. You can think of another one too, but I'm going to add this to the list and resubmit it to the Google Classroom. Look what I wrote, okay, and tell me, and these are also kind of themes that you could write down. Okay, so I wrote, the theme is to become identified with a country, place, or way of life. Take both. The theme is to become identified. Takes, I wanted to say here, takes both time and commitment. To become identified with a country, you can just leave it a country, takes both time and commitment, okay? You know what commitment means?
I'm just wondering what we did.
They didn't talk about religion, it's true, but I'll take out religion. But it could be like that with religion too. Another theme, when you immigrate to another country, you will never fully belong to either country, neither to the one you left, nor to your new home. Let's see, I kind of said.
I didn't really. What?
You immigrate to another country, you will never fully belong to either country, neither the one you left, nor to your new home.
I don't believe so.
It's like three.
I don't know how it is to move from another country, but never be belong for something or somewhere.
Moria. I'm talking about what is in the story in this country. This story. It's not what you think. It's what's in the story here. And the last one I wrote is.
It's like what the
story says.
Like.
What does this? I think these things are in the story, yeah, but I could prove it. But you have to choose something to prove too. The children of immigrants are the bridge leading to an identity the parents can never completely.
You wrote identify.
I'm sorry?
You wrote identify.
To become identified with a country.
The third sentence.
Identity.
You said the children of images are bridging leading to an identify.
You're right. I'm sorry. Thank you. Leading to an identity the parents can never completely acquire. You know this word acquire? Acquire?
But that's not exactly accurate because she says that the kids in her school are making fun of her.
You're right.
Because she immigrated.
Yeah.
But still, she doesn't feel like she belonged to Panama.
I know. I was going to add that in there because I kind of said that on the first one, but you got to focus on one idea. You're right. And I thought of trying to make that.
It is, and I think the second thing is that he like your father is always trying but not really fully do it, and the mother can never be okay with it. She's always talking about it. She's always talking about Panama. She's always missing it.
You're right. There you go. Okay, so what you need to do in this question here is you need to choose a theme. You can be one of these or another one that you think of. You need to write it down. So I said choose between the following themes to answer question 1. You need to find at least 2 passages from the story which support the theme you chose to focus upon. Cite the passage, and explain how it relates to the theme. So you need to cite the passages, I should say. So I want you to find 2 passages. A passage.
Wait, I need to choose only one of them?
Well, you can choose 2, but I want you to, I think it's enough to focus on 1, okay? So you need to choose.
Choosing a one and saying how it's related?
Yeah, but you have to prove it.
Okay.
You have to prove it. You need to bring a line or 2 lines, because it's I have two sections from the story to prove that what you say is really the theme, okay? It's in this theme that you talked about. You have to prove that what you say is in these lines, okay? So that's question number 1. question number 2 is easier. If you have, do you have your books open?
Yeah.
You have your books open? Yeah?
I don't have it open. And okay, wait.
I mean, I can
What
copy it
page?
down.
196.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's this was called.
draw a conclusion.
Yeah. Draw a conclusion. Okay, go ahead, Moria. Read it to us. What does it say? In paragraph 7.
Draw conclusion in paragraphs. I would never know what that says. Paragraph 7. The narrator states, and my parents lasted until my mom dabbed the corners of her eyes with the back of her hand. And can you calculate about Celia based on this statement? Cite text advance to support your conclusions.
Right. So cite evidence to support. Remember when the mother dabbed her eyes when she was crying? When was that? She was not really crying. Who remembers
When
that?
they were dancing.
Right. Okay. And so you have to prove from this that what do you conclude about Celia based on this statement? Okay.
That she laughs really hard.
She's emotional.
Yeah,
I think
she gets so
she
emotional
laughed.
that she cries from laughing.
Is she? I don't think so.
She is very emotional. That's a fact. She is.
Maybe like she missed her home and she like deja vu.
No, but in this sentence, she cries from laughing. Those are people who laugh really hard to a point when they cry.
But do you remember something else about it? What does she say, which is kind of striking afterwards? She says,
I don't remember what sentence it was.
my parents left when mom dabbed the corner of his eyes.
Wait, shut up, Batya.
I'd never, what's the next line? I'd never seen them so
happy.
Yeah.
So happy.
Even though it was just for those few seconds. Okay. What do you conclude from that?
That usually she's really not that happy.
That their lives were, there's many things you conclude. I mean, of course, that their lives were hard. That they didn't have that much joy. What else can you conclude? They didn't express that.
I think it's really like reminded her of her home and like she was crying because she liked it.
Maybe that her moments of joy and happiness like that are very short.
I mean, when you live in a country, that you live in a whole society, and all יותר תרבות, ושאתה נזכר בתרבות הזאת זה מאוד מרתיע.
Okay, yes, you could also say, Moria, that the pressure of being in a foreign place and not feeling at home is so oppressive. She's rarely happy.
When does the class
Suddenly,
finish?
She has this memory of dancing when she's young with her husband, and she remembers their youth and the romantic days before they got married, and it brings back the memory of that youth and that happiness when they were together, in Panama before they had children, and so you could say that, but you could say a lot of stuff. Another idea somebody said to me?
Maybe somebody hurt her, like somebody pushed her and he hurt her.
What?
I mean, you could just say that. What else?
I don't know. I don't have any ideas, so I'll just throw one. I'll be honest. It's, when you're dancing and somebody's really in the mood for it, and like he's pulling your hair like and almost broke it.
No. She's the shot is that she's crying because she's happy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's longing to go to the wedding of her sister, and she wants to see her sister. She wants to see her friends. And the father says, and she says, her sister says, the only people only dance one time, like at the wedding. That's it. And the father says, What are you talking about? I love to dance. And he starts to dance with his wife, and she's like, woo! And she was so happy that her husband's dancing with her right now. It's like, wow, this is really fun. Wow. And she was like,
Mister,
brought back his
should
memory.
I write it? Like,
What's that? I'm sorry.
write the answers in the notebook.
No, write them on this page, or you have to upload it. Write them
Are you outside?
I
No,
think she is.
I'm in my room. But I have my fan on because it's really hot.
Okay, let's go to
Well,
the next.
at least
we only
mute
have 15
yourself.
minutes. Next question, girls.
I
Next
turned
question.
it off. Can you hear it still?
Okay, next
No, you
question.
turn it off. How could I hear it if it's turned off?
Now it's
Okay,
really
question number
hot.
3. Cause and effect.
I need to go
Batya, can you
soon.
read question number 3? Batya?
Yeah, where is it?
In the book, question number 3, page 196.
Okay. The cause and effect.
This is the easiest one.
What are the effects of the 2 canceled trips to Panama on the course of the story?
Yeah, what are the effects of the 2 canceled trips?
The mother
That they
was
stayed in
sad.
America, that they never visited Panama.
They never visited her. They never visited them. And the mother was in depression. The kid missed her friends. And
She
everybody
wasn't
was
in
sad.
depression. She was just depressed.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
right. It's different. Very good, Batya. Well, remember the first time, there were 2 different effects, really. The first time, the effect was what? How does the father react? And he says, oh, we're going to roll out the red carpet for you. And the father
He
was
got
not.
So his
upset.
friend thought now they're rich and fancy because they moved to
No,
America.
it's because I think he thought that because they're like spoiled Americans now or something like that. Because he said now they think that we're Americans or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
No, they are Americans, but now they think that they're
That they're not.
different.
They're Panama. They're from Panama and live in America. They're like American.
No, but they got their identity. They got their green card.
Yeah, they got their citizenship.
Yeah, so the father is kind of offended.
They are,
He's
like you
offended
always
because,
be from where you are. Like you can run away from it for the good or for the bad.
Yes, you can cancel your citizenship and then you won't have one anymore.
I mean, when you leave your own country where you was born,
Yeah, I mean you'll never.
hey, don't take any words, okay? It's like I don't like talking about laws and stuff like that. I'm talking about how you do feel. You can never like change your feelings that easily.
anyway, so the first effect was the father's reaction to
don't
what happened in the
stupid. Don't make
family
yourself look
afterwards.
stupid.
And the second effect, what was the second effect? What happened after the
Well,
second?
I didn't hear the first effect.
You got to look at the story again, but I mean, if you look at it, the first effect was that they didn't go, and the father got all upset. He was very offended.
Everybody was upset.
Do you think that he should have been offended, the father? Was he over?
No, I think he overreacted.
The question is, on the course of the stories, how does it change it? So
the question is, what are the effects of the 2 canceled trips? So you're right. So the question is, what is the effect on the family at that point? What is the effect? What happens afterwards?
Upsetting, fighting, last like when they said we are going to meet them, they were like happy. That's something that like
I think there's more tension.
hold them up the water, and then when they like said we are not going there, like people are like I don't know.
Okay.
I think there's more tension in the house.
Yara, wait, but Moria, Yara, yes.
Maybe there's more tension in the house between the 2 parents, and they don't agree with each other. So
Yes.
I guess
That's very good. That's definitely an immediate effect. The second, what was the cause of it? What was the result of the second? The second one's a little more simple. What happened the second time it was canceled?
The 9/11.
Then their father took them to the beach and said that we will never come back.
The fact that they didn't go.
And like take them to the beach. And that's the closest that they can go to Panama. I'm sorry, or something like that.
Okay, very good. So you got the answers. That's very good. So that one's easier. Write it down.
I didn't
Number
hear
4.
it.
I didn't hear
my answer, my beautiful answer. How could you do that?
Because your microphone makes you like echo, like muffled.
And your voice is really loud.
My voice?
Yeah, it's so loud. I have to cover my ears.
It's true. It's very loud, Maria.
Really? What did you tell me?
Very loud.
Wait a second.
We
You're
can
my
open the
friend, you
microphone.
little traitor.
You've got a very good microphone.
Is that better?
Yeah,
It's
okay,
too
turn it
good.
down. Yeah, turn it down. Okay, yeah. So Moria said, yeah, the effect was basically that they ended
Better?
up going to the to Delaware, to the beach in Delaware, as I recall.
Yes.
Because they couldn't go, so they had a different vacation. They went to a beach, and it's kind of like a
That's
bittersweet.
just
It's sad
ending.
because honestly, like there are pretty beaches in America, but I'm guessing in Panama there are even better ones.
And well, not only that, it was very ironic. Remember, they went to this beach and wow, it was like snowing. Okay, you talk about it was snowing and it was cold,
Yeah.
and yet
In
the
Canada,
amazing
Sad.
thing about it was that
it shouldn't be snowing over a beach. Like
well, yeah, but
this
it's
is a
Yeah.
place of,
What?
yeah, there's
of
lots of beaches like
sun
in the Arctic and
and
in snowy parts of the world. Where
I
it
don't know.
snows in
What
the-
kind of? Wait, does somebody hear me? I don't know. I will change
Yeah,
my.
we can hear
believe me,
you.
we hear you.
Is it better than before?
a little
Yes.
bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it snows on beaches. You hear beaches,
Yeah.
it's sunny, but it
But-
can snow. It can snow on
There's
beaches
no
in
beaches
Canada.
in Canada.
I know. I
There's
talked
only
to
one-
I talked with Shelly about it, and she was like,
How is it
"There are no
possible?
beaches. There's just lakes."
There's only lakes.
There's supposed to be. There is supposed to be.
No, there's only lakes, no ocean. Like
Yeah.
no beaches with oceans.
But you
But
don't
it's-
like.
shores.
ואתם לא סמוכים לשום פינה. מה בדיוק רוצה? מה?
Okay,
There's
anyway,
more
we gotta
lakes
go on,
in
girls.
Canada
We gotta
than in
go
the
on.
whole world.
Let's go. Bonnie
Okay, I
Kidam.
don't know. But
Bonnie
it's,
Kidam.
Short in time.
So yeah, so you talk. The ending is kind of bittersweet. You know, it's a very beautiful ending, but sad ending. Okay, but it's also
Did they ever
beautiful.
go to
everybody's
Panama?
sad. Everybody.
beautiful because despite the fact that they're not in Panama, somehow they managed to accept the fact that they're here in America, and the 9/11 incident somehow makes them feel more American and bound to America, even though it is.
So they feel like,
איפה הזמנה שלי?
Okay, number
well,
4.
yeah.
How is the narrator's identity or sense of himself affected by his surroundings? I should say her surroundings. Okay, this
Isn't
is,
it a girl?
yeah, I know. I don't know why they said his. I imagined it being a girl all the time. Maybe it's not. I was beginning to think about it, but I assume because I thought.
But it didn't it say
Yeah, it never actually
Oh.
says it. Never actually says it.
it only says that they have a brother, but
And I didn't even talk about the.
Yeah, when she ended, like when she ended to read me, she said like, "Did you listen to me?" And then then I was like, "Yes." What was her brother's name? I was like, "There was no name." I'm pretty
Yes,
much
there
sure.
was.
We never hear her
Her-
name. It's
the
first person
brother
was
has a
part
name,
of a
but the
book.
person who's saying it doesn't have a name apparently. But the brother does, and Maria doesn't listen.
The,
Okay.
the brother doesn't have any name. You're a liar.
The
Stop,
brother
stop.
has a name.
Okay,
Wait,
yeah, sorry.
Stop, girls, stop. I also forgot it. We read it in the background because this is part of a book. So it says on the very front of the background of the story of the author is this woman, Cristina Enriquez. But it says here at the last sentence, the excerpt we're reading, the excerpt means the keta from the book, is narrated by Mayol, a boy who came to the United States with his family after the United States invaded Panama. So yes, it's a boy. It's a boy.
Where does it say that? I thought it was a girl the
I
entire
did too,
time.
because I saw the picture of the
Yeah,
author.
I thought it was a girl
It's not
too.
autobiographical. It's a fiction. It's not necessarily. This is not really a true. It's
This is
based on her life.
fiction. I thought it was nonfiction, and I felt bad for them.
Well, I'm sure it's based on her life because she says herself, her family emigrated from Panama in 1971, and she spent many childhood summer vacations visiting her family there. So she did go there.
Wait, so her story
So
is
it's
based
basically
on
not based on them.
No, it's not her
it's
story.
based on a different family, on a boy and his family.
It's fiction. Yeah.
It's fiction.
It's
I
a
mean, this
fiction.
woman is older.
It's kind of a
She was
fiction.
born.
Because
She
he
was
It's
born in
fiction, but
1977.
it's drawn
She
by
was at
the.
9/11. 27 years old already, 28 years old.
Every fiction story has its own religions.
Excuse me? Religion?
Every faction story have its own religion. Like
Religion?
even though it's
Religion.
not real, but he must have like went had the same experience too, like the one that wrote it.
Their own version, their own perspective. That's true. Okay, so anyway, so number 4, you're gonna have to think about that one. Number 5, so you're gonna have to find out in the story.
I don't think I really understood the question in number 4.
How, the question is here, is how the narrator, this boy, Mayo, how is the fact that what are his surroundings? His surroundings are that he's living in America, okay? That he's going to a school with people of all different, with Americans, that his father is working at as a chef at making hamburgers or pancakes in a store. How does the fact that he's living in America affect who he is?
If his
He doesn't feel like
לא מרגיש חלק מהשורה, שכולם גדלו וחיו על אותו דבר, הוא לא כזה. כאילו שאתה חי במדינה,
maybe that he feels more American than Panamanian.
I mean,
Panamanian.
בכל מיני מדינות יש להם נושאי שיחה, סוג של נושאי שיחה שונים.
However they say that.
Panamanian.
Yeah, that he feels
אתה
more
מגיע
American.
לשם, אתה לא מעוניין בדיוק כמו שאמריקאים מעוניינים בדברים מסוימים. וכשאתה מגיע לשם, אתה מעוניין במשהו אחד, לא יודעת, בפנמה ממש ממש אוהבים טבע, אבל באמריקה בכלל ממש ממש אוהבים לדבר על אוכל. אז אתה בכלל לא מעוניין יותר מדי בנושא שיחה שם. כאילו הם גדלו על משהו אחד, ואתה גדל על משהו אחר.
Okay, girls, we got to finish up the class. So let me just show you the last question and how I helped you. Look at question 5. Yara, can you read this question for us? 5.
Right. How do the statements Rafa makes about being American in paragraph 12 relate to other ideas about American identity expressed elsewhere in the text, like somewhere else?
Okay, if you look at paragraph 12, we'll see what does Rafa say. Rafa in paragraph 12 is the father, okay? So he said, what does he say?
They think we're American now.
Mm-hmm. And maybe
We are, and maybe we don't belong there anymore after all.
okay. And then he goes, this is when he's really angry, the father, okay? So you need to remember that passage in paragraph 12. And now what you need to do is find other passages in the story, okay, that somehow relate to other ideas of American identity, okay? How does this statement that he make relate to other, and then you need to find passages in the story that show that.
Can I say that the girl doesn't feel Panamanian? She feels more American.
Boy.
Not a girl, it's a boy now.
What? What is it? Oh my gosh.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
I really thought it's a girl.
We all
Two
thought it
words.
was a boy. We all
I
thought
don't
it was-
know.
Then we went back.
The
we thought-
boy feels more American than a Panamanian.
Panamanian.
Actually, I
Panamanian.
heard a podcast about it that there was some girl
Even
that
though-
said that he was
even though
from
it's
Korea, and
different.
somebody was from Korea, and then they moved to America, and she says her breakdown was mostly in her language. She didn't know her Korean language, and all of the Korean stuff was less about her. So she did it America stuff the best. She always was trying her best in English classes, and always try to look like the American and act like them. So I think that the boy had it too. He's trying his best to be like American because he can't be like Panama.
I don't think he's trying that hard. I mean, the boy.
I think he's trying, but he can't because everyone
But
also
they
says
say
that he
in the
doesn't
text that he
belong there
feels more American than a Panamanian.
because he moved there when he was 1, but he still
when
doesn't
he
feel
was
American.
young, 1
That's
years
what I
old. No,
told
and
you.
his parents always tell him that he is Panamanian. Whatever.
Panamanian.
Yes, but he doesn't feel that way.
But he also says that he can't feel American because they say that he's not American.
No, he says
Yeah.
that they tell him that he's not actually American, but he doesn't feel Panamanian.
But then he also says that he doesn't feel like, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'll never understand it. We never moved out of our country. For God's sake.
Katya did,
Pretty,
and
pretty good.
Mr. Chaya did, so it's not. Wait.
Yes. Like, I
And yeah,
like,
you were
my
from
family
England.
could have
No,
like
you're not
moved out of
funny.
the country, but we didn't. So, yay. Like my father, like,
I think it's the fact that the boy doesn't feel like American. He's
He doesn't feel like
he's
anything.
there since he's 1 year old, and I don't know. It says at the very beginning that he feels American, even though
But
they
he's not-
expect him
but
to
he's
feel.
not
he's
supposed
saying that
to.
he's trying his best
No,
to
See,
but
be
he also
feel-
says that
American.
he feels American even though he thinks that he's not supposed to feel American because he's supposed to feel
Yeah.
Panamanian.
Okay, ladies, I copied this, actually, the paragraph for you here. So this is what he says, and now it asks you to find other passages
Still,
for you to
is
use.
there a way for you like to put it on the classroom?
It is on Classroom, but I made some
There
changes.
it is. So that you wrote it right there. I wasn't allowed to claim the thing I felt, and I did. You wrote it right
Yeah,
there.
so I wrote some passages for you already, but you need to explain the connection. But if you choose one of these passages, there are other ones too. So here are just a few passages for you to use or think about. How is one of these passages connected to what he says over here? How are they connected? How does it show to relate to other ideas about American identity? What's the relationship between this idea of American identity and what's going on in one of these passages here? So like this one says, I wasn't allowed to claim the thing I felt, and I didn't feel the thing I was supposed to claim. Or there was a
Like
he
he's
feels
saying that,
American,
like
but
his
he's
father
not supposed
doesn't want
to.
to say that he doesn't belong anymore to his old country. He want to say that he still belongs there, but in the other hand, he's in America. He lives like American, and there's like this disconnection between what he wants and what he is.
Very good. Okay, you're thinking really well, Moya. Did anybody catch what this word gringo means? Gringo? There was a footnote.
It's a dance.
No,
It is.
no, gringo.
What? It's not. Oh, it's a foreigner in Latin America. It's an offensive term for a foreigner.
Yeah, offensive. And they
Yeah,
say
for an
that in the
American.
text.
I use it funny, but I mean, I am a gringo. When I was in America and I spoke Spanish, people would say, hey, it's the gringo. Okay, they called me a gringo. Because it means a gringo is somebody who is not.
What, are you Latin American?
No. So a gringo is
Oh.
anybody who's not Latin American. You're a gringo too. You're also a gringo. Okay?
They called you a gringo, like they say they all look at this gringo. He doesn't.
Anybody who's not from Mexico or Central America or South America is a gringo. So you are all gringos, and I'm a gringo too. Okay? It's a foreigner in Latin America, especially an American or English person, the term is often considered offensive. Yeah, people use it in a funny way too. People laugh at it. But yes, it's a gringo. Anybody who's not American is a gringo. And not Latin American is a gringo.
Is Puerto Rico
It's America. They are pretty racist.
Puerto Ricans are not gringos. They're a little bit confused because they're part of America. They're part of the United States.
They're also Latin and also not Latin. They're also, what is it called? They're also Hispanic. Not Hispanic. What?
They're also American to a certain extent because they're part of the American colonies, but they're not. They're
But they can't even vote, so that's not fair.
Yeah, I know, but it has advantages for them too. They get it.
But my mom can vote because she lived in Florida before
Oh,
she left for a
there you
few
go.
years.
There you go. Okay, ladies. Anyway, that's the work for this week. Okay, you need to answer questions 1 through 5.
We
Okay.
don't have time for this.
Submit it.
Yeah, we have like 6 days.
I have a test on Monday and then another one
Everyone
in math
has
on
yeah.
Thursday.
Okay, well, try to do it before I magish to adult. Okay, it's going to part of your to adult.
Also, we need to give you the journals and the book report. So.
Yep, you do. Okay.
Oh my God, the book report.
I forgot.
It's not like I forget about it. I'm not a goal of reading. I never read.
Okay, you know what? You don't need to get I want to say
write,
something else too in general. I mean, you
Like
don't need to get
like
100 in English.
30
You don't need to
pages.
get 100. You don't need to
I'm
get 90. Try to get above a 70. Okay, that's already holding.
Listen, for the book report, you said you could do a comic. How are you supposed, like, what are you supposed to do if you do a comic? Like, explain the whole book in 120 words?
No, you choose one scene and then
and that's it. That's the whole book report. If I make a comic on one scene.
No, but you
report is
also
3
do
parts.
a summary.
Is 3 parts.
You need to do a summary and a creative part.
So 2 parts.
Yeah.
No,
And also you need to add the words
What?
that you
I don't
wrote.
remember. I don't even remember. I know that אתה צריך לסכם את הסיפור ב-120 מילים, ולעשות עליו או קומיקס או פרסומת או משהו כזה, זהו, לא?
No, there's also adding the words that you wrote, when the new words or interesting words that you
girls, it's all on the classroom, and it's on
okay.
I put it up on
I
WhatsApp too. Read the WhatsApp. I just put it on your WhatsApp again. Your own. I gave it to your WhatsApp, so you all have it.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Who said that?
Okay, so girls.
Thank
If you
you
have
very
any
much.
questions, send me your WhatsApps. Okay. You take care.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Yeah, I'm really appreciate it.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. All my heart. Okay, girls, have a great Shabbat.
Bye.
I'm going to visit my new cousin.
Oh, wonderful.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Baby,
She was born on Sunday. This Sunday.
Mazel tov. Ize yofi.
And my mom is supposed to give birth in now.
When?
I don't know, this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be a big sister, huh? And their cousins are gonna be.
You could be on the opening while it's happening.
Who's the oldest?
You never know it because he doesn't have any phone.
Yeah, I'm the oldest. There's my brother standing next to me, but he doesn't dare to show his face.
Oh.
It's shaming.
I'm gonna say hello.
He's shy.
Not that shy.
Are
Well, I
you-
need to go.
Okay, bye then. Take care and
Bye.
b'shal tova to your mother.
Thank you.
Bye.